Welcome back, dear viewers. If you're just tuning in, you're watching Hala Kuwait on KTV2, the family channel, and I'm pleased to be joined by a special guest today on the program, Mr. Abdulilah Annous, who's a Chief Innovation Officer in Chino. Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Hala Kuwait.
Thank you very much for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Now, Mr. Abdulilah, would like to know why should someone start using AI tomorrow? Business, fun, or even learning?
Using AI is just a method to speed up the things you do. So having 3 hours of doing that type of work can create a 1 hour that rather than having those 3 hours of doing the same thing. So why should somebody start? Now, first and foremost, we want to understand how people are using AI, right? A lot of people are using it as a chat, right? That's not the win with AI. The win with AI is actually having it give you better decisions, faster decision-making skills, being able to create things with it, and creating an outcome of what you've created. So if we take a simple examples that viewers can actually utilize AI tomorrow, first pick your chat tool. What is the chat tool you prefer using? Is it ChatGPT? Is it Claude? Is it Gemini? So first pick one tool, and then pick one output tool. So it could be Canva. We could, again, Gemini VO3 for videos, right? It could be CapCut. So picking those tools, making sure you have that small tech stack is a reason you should be starting to use AI tomorrow. Not to overcomplicate that there are tons of tools out there that can be used.
Of course.
Start with two, your chat and your output tool. AI is like a gym, right? So you're going to use it daily and you're going to get better results as much as you use it.
Yes. So then what's the 60-minute AI starter kit people can set up at home?
Oh, so you'd want to think of what is the AI I'm going to use to create a thought, to be the brain, right? You're going to choose that AI, right? Could be ChatGPT, Claude.
Yes.
Those are the two most preferred. Then you're going to think about what is the AI tool that's going to create. What am I going to use for creating things? So it could be Canva, it could be CapCut. You could choose those type of tools. And then what is the output, right?
Yes.
Or the linkage, right? So if somebody was going to start doing something in 60 minutes, I would first and foremost start by choosing those tools, then going to my first tool and asking that first tool a question, right? A prompt.
Yes.
And that prompt would be, ask me 7 questions of a microservice I can sell in Kuwait in 48 hours. Create for me FAQs, the DM strategy I'll be using, direct message strategy I'll be using.
Right.
Give me the offer and create 3 packages. So that would be step 1, talking to your chat AI tool.
Yes.
I would then go to my AI tool or tool that I'm using for creation. And let's say, for the sake of it, it's Canva Magic Studio. And I would take those 3 offers I've created and I would create 3 different templates for those offers. I would then move on to my link, right? Link tree, for example, or card double RD.
Yes.
Right? And that's an easy, quick 1-page AI designer. It'll create 1 page for me as a website. The point here is now I want to make this into something that is usable.
Right.
So I'm going to go to my one card and I'm going to put in the offers that I've created already on Canva. And I'm going to take that 1 card link and put it in my link tree. And now I can share that link on my social media, my friends, my WhatsApps, right? That is something you want to do. You want to pick a lane. Am I doing this for business? Am I doing it for fun? Am I doing it for study? You can't do all 3. You end up doing nothing. So choose that lane. Spend 60 minutes seeing what you're building here.
I see.
Right? I would say that is the best way to utilize that hour.
And now, Abdulilah, for some people that might be intimidated in the beginning, not sure how to use it, can you give us the first project for a beginner that he can finish in 1 day, step by step?
A first project should be something you feel like doing, something you've always felt like doing, and always felt like it was something that, you know, it's tedious. I need to bring people in. I don't have the know-how. I'd say a quick first project would be something that can give you small wins and fast outcomes. So pick a niche. For example, I'd like to start helping people redesign their menus. Right? Now, I already have the tools we spoke about, right? My thinker, my creator, and my link or outcome. Right? So I'm going to go to my thinker. I'm going to say, okay, I've picked X business, and I'd like to give them a taste of what their menu could look like. Right? And I'd go and I'd create that menu. Right? I'd ask it to create 3 different options for me. Right? And if I had some insight, it's an Italian restaurant, they're modern, I'd bring that into my prompt.
You can tweak it up.
Correct. I want to give it the right tone. And then I'd go to my creation tool, and I'd create the visuals required. And I'd take my outcome tool, I'd secure it with a certain, you know, watermark or something, and I'd send it across to the customer. Have a look. This is what I was thinking of for you. If you'd like more of my services, or would you like to purchase, you know, stuff like that. Usually if you have a one-pager, and that's where, you know, you're directing people to go to your one-pager, have things that are like book an appointment, book a consultation, pay now. Just 3 simple buttons that people can be directed to. And always add your WhatsApp contact, right? Reach me on WhatsApp, or create a form. Now, I wouldn't create a form. I'm one of the people, if I go to a website and I have to fill out a form to get a quotation, there's a high probability I'm not coming back to this website. But if there's a WhatsApp that I can reach out to, I'd prefer going to WhatsApp.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same also. It's like too much work.
Yeah, true.
So then how can someone make their first 100 KD with AI in 30 days?
Oh, great. Let me take from the previous answer. So now that I've said that I can do menu design, let me make 3 more products that are within the same scape, right? We design menus, we write SOPs for kitchens, and we help you write captions and you know, 7 captions and hashtags for your posts. And let's say I define that all of those are going to cost 10 KD. Right? Now, of course, I'm going to take that and put it on my one-pager. These are the products. I'll have a good, better, best package, right, of the same. In the example of 7 captions and hashtags, I'll have, you know, 15 captions and hashtags, and then 30, right, that suffice X amount of posts. And I'll put those packages across those. The point is here to have consistency, right? If I sell 10 of my 10 KD packages, that's 100 KD right there. It's simple math, right? Knowing that I've directed people to find these type of products or these type of services on my one card, one pager, I know I will have repeat customer. The point is to keep it consistent. So if I'm advertising about myself, I want to make sure that I'm advertising on the same channels and making sure that I get my right target audience.
I see.
How would I move forward into making this a better monetization for myself? I would then go on to automation tools, right? Zapier for fast integrations, or Make if I want to see the visual automation, or N8N if I'm a power user. I know how to do certain things and integrate it with certain apps. Now that I've monetized, I now want things to seem a little more professional. Somebody clicked on the buy now, pay now. It goes into a funnel, sends a confirmation email, and now that person feels more comfortable working with you.
Right. And so how can, we'd like to shift now gears and talk about, you know, the students and education, because it does have a heavy role there. So how can they use AI to learn without cheating?
My favorite approach, and I'm going to be very specific here. ChatGPT offers something called Study and Learn. You'll find a little plus button on the chat box itself, and you'll find options. And one of the options is Study and Learn.
I see.
The point is, the definitive outcome of this is, if you can reiterate what you've learned, you've won, you've achieved it. You haven't cheated. If it writes it for you, then you've lost.
100%.
You haven't learned anything. When you go and press study and learn, what you should do is first, if you have a PDF of the topic or just a highlight, a subject, a heading, drop it in, ask it to explain the topic to you.
Right.
I would definitely, and I usually use this method, it's called KISS, keep it simple, stupid, for that to explain it to me in the easiest way I could understand it. Once I've read that outcome, I would then go on and ask, give me 10 quiz questions, right?
Right.
Maybe I can't answer them all. I would then send the next prompt being, give me a hint, but don't give me the final answer, right? I'm using it now as my study partner.
So the trick is in the prompt, you're saying?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people keep talking about prompt engineering, prompt engineering. This is not prompt engineering. This has nothing to do with prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is something that's deeper into the mechanism of the AI itself and how it interacts with the users.
Okay.
Right? This is just prompting methods.
Yes, I see.
Right? Prompting methods come under several aspects. And if we speak ChatGPT specifically, there's something called priming and something called RTF, role task format. I open a new chat and I prime it. I prepare it for anticipation of what we're going to talk about. And if I'd like, I can additionally, in my next prompt, do an RTF, a role, task, and format.
Okay.
Right? Tell it, this is your role, this is the task required, and this is the format I want it in. Now, there's a more complicated one. We could talk about it in a few, but this is how I would speak or prompt ChatGPT specifically.
Okay. So I'd like to follow up with another question, Abdulilah. Now, research studies shown recently that whoever uses ChatGPT or any AI tool heavily are subject to lesser cognitive development, decision-making problems, memory retention, these types of things. So how important is it to balance that with our life and to use it as a supplement rather than using it heavily?
I'll start from a different direction, just a little bit, before I can get you where we want to go. When I use ChatGPT about subjects I don't know about, I'm in high risk of getting an output I don't understand,
right,
and relying heavily on it that this is the right outcome or this is the best outcome. I need to have the know-how of what I'm talking about. So when the outcome does get produced, I know if that's right and wrong, right? So I can't say that it could cause less cognitive functions. People are getting lazier and lazier and less patient on a daily basis. The point of using AI is for it to assist me, to make things that would have taken me hours or days to do, minutes and hours in the same day.
Right.
Today, one of my team members, love this guy, we drop all our presentation requirements to him because he's refined using AI to just generate presentations. So while I'm in a meeting, speaking to a client, and he's throwing things at me, my team member is with me in the meeting, and he's generating presentations on the go, sending them across, and I share them on the screen within the same minutes of
Amazing.
Yeah, within the same minutes of having this conversation. If you're looking at AI as something that you can't live without, it has become the only way for you to move about your day, yes, you're losing. You're losing. Definitely, if you don't practice any language that you've learned, including a coding language, you will lose touch with that language.
Yes. So what can someone create this weekend using AI?
I'd go with trying something fun, something a lot of people haven't had the chance to try. And I'll give you the step-by-step of what this looks like.
Okay.
Go to your chat tool. Say, I want to create a 45 to 50-minute video. Right? A lot of people have been trying to create videos, but they never kind of got the grasp of which AIs and what to do. So let's say a fun thing we can do this weekend. Let's create a 45 to 50-minute video. And let's say, I can't give you an idea. Let the viewers think of a fun idea for 45 minutes, 50 minutes. But what you should tell your chat AI is, write me a script about X and make sure that it's 45 seconds to 50 seconds.
Okay.
And break down the scenes into 5 to 8 second scenes. Provide me a prompt for a first and last image, and provide me an additional prompt of the transitions between the first and last image. And give me that per scene. Once you get that entire script, you're going to move on to stage 2.
Okay.
I would recommend Nano Banana Pro, or you could use whichever AI generating image tools you prefer. That's the one I prefer. I will first take my prompts for the first and last image of each scene and create them.
Okay.
Once I'm done with creating those images, I'm going to go to Kling.io, Kling 2.0,
Yes.
and Gemini 3.1. I'll choose one of the two. And I'll take my transition prompt from that scene, and I'll put my first and last image, then my transition prompt. And that's going to create each one for me. Once I'm done creating, I believe 45 seconds to 50 seconds of 5 to 8 second scenes is around 5 or 6 videos that you're going to create.
Right.
Once you've created those 8 videos, go to 11 Labs or Gemini text-to-speech and create a voiceover. Or record your voice, right? It doesn't always have to be AI, right? You could create a voiceover using your voice. Go to CapCut or your favorite editing tool and put it all together and export it. Share a link with your friends. Do it for your business, whichever way you like. But this is something I'd like people to try over the weekend. A lot of people seem to feel like there's a large barrier of entry to starting to create your own images and videos. There isn't. As I stated, this is the way to do it, and these are the tools to use.
Yeah, on the contrary, you did make it sound very simple. But so during your answer, this is the thing. I noticed there was a lot of tools you mentioned, and tools can be overwhelming. And I think that's the intimidating parts that the viewers that are watching might thinking. So which tools are the best, and for what?
I mean, if you had 2 other people in my field here, this would be a big argument, but there are industry standards, right? So if I'm talking just general assistant, I would go with ChatGPT. If I'm looking for factual research, I would go with Perplexity.
Yes.
If I'd say I want deep and long papers, documentation, I'd go with Claude. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'd say if I'm going with visuals, as I said, Nano Banana for images and Google VO3 for videos. I'd say if on the top of my head for automation, I go with N8N. It's my favorite one to use, but Power Automate for Microsoft is more of an enterprise solution, and Make is more easy for people to use. And the last one I'd say, if you do use Office, Word, PowerPoint, Excel,
Yes.
Microsoft by Copilot. That's
Right.
the best one for those tools.
Yeah, I use that.
You do?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
actually very handy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd like to ask you now, what skills should beginners learn in the first month? You touched on it, but can you expand?
I wouldn't say it's a skill specifically. Let's take the road of business, right? I've confirmed what tools I want to use. These are the tools I want to use.
Right.
I want to start expanding each tool into different areas of my business. So if I started off by using the chat tool to talk about my business idea, do some research, think of quick things I could do, then now I might want to expand into writing SOPs with that chat.
SOPs?
Standard operating procedures,
right?
Policies. I want to start, going more in depth about things about my business that I'm not clear about or I don't have the know-how. I'd ask it questions like, who would be the subject matter expert, the SME in this field? Because I'd like to dive deeper on this.
Yeah.
Right? I'd start using RTFs, role, task, and format. Now that I know what the subject matter expert is in the thing I'm looking for, I can now open a new chat and say, from now on, I want you to be that subject matter expert. This is your role, task, and format, and start speaking to that subject matter expert there. So I would utilize that tool. That is what I would spend my first month doing, getting better acquainted with my tools.
Yeah.
If we go for our creation tools, Canva. Canva is huge. It has lots of things, but I might not know how to use it all. So I'm going to dive deeper into Canva. What can it offer me? What are the easy things I could do? The last thing I would say is concentrate on automation. Once I know how to use my first two tools, there are things that are going to become really easy for me to do.
Right.
I want to automate those things. I want an automation to take care of those things for me. I'd say those are the skills you want to gain. Gain the skills of the AIs or the tools that you are using and become proficient in those first.
Abdulilah, is it fair to say that experimenting and curiosity, these are the most rewarding thing when it comes to these tools?
Not too much. Don't waste time. There's a website called LLM Arena. This website benchmarks all the AI tools out there in each category, right? If I'm looking for a specific AI that I've never used and it's for a very niche thing that I need to do, I go there. They already took care of giving me a good understanding of which one is doing what best.
Right.
Web development. Let's talk about web development. The newest thing in the past 18 months is AIs that can create websites and apps. A lot of this is not true. They create certain things. If I don't have the know-how myself, I'm going to find a bottleneck of something I can't fix. I've created half an app that's barely working, full of bugs, right? I'm going to spend months learning how to use this. That's a big win. My curiosity is focused somewhere specific. I want to create apps and websites. I'm going to spend time using this tool, concentrating on understanding how this tool is. Join forums, communities. How are people using these tools? How did you achieve that output? I couldn't. Yes, focus on tool.
Yes.
Too much curiosity with no focus and no end goal is just wasting time and resources.
Well, that's very informative, Abdulilah, but of course we do have to take a quick break.
Of course.
And we'll be right back. Dear viewers, we have prepared this report. We'll move on to that and then stick around. There's much more to cover. Welcome back, dear viewers, and I'm pleased once again to be joined by our special guest, Abdulilah Annous, who is Chief Innovation Officer. Now, Abdulilah, give us one prompt formula that works for everyone.
Sure. So a prompt formula would be 4 things. I'd add a couple to those, but the main ones would be, so the goal, the context, the source, and the outcome. You want to make sure your prompt has those 4 things, right? You can add 2 more things, constraints and questions.
Right.
So the goal, what is this, why is this, the context, the heart of your prompt, right? The sources, point at sources or give it sources, right? The outcome or the format, I want this in a table, create an image, what format do you require? Then the constraints, the do's and don'ts. Don't do this, do that. We prefer avoiding X, Y. And the questions. Anything that I was not clear on or anything you want enlightenment in, please ask me questions and I'll provide the answers to. So usually if you have a prompt within this type of rules, you're going to have a very good structured output rather than just random or hallucinations that the AI is just making assumptions for you and giving you those answers.
So what are the risks and how do beginners stay safe?
The risks are things that you've heard regularly. Don't put in your identification. Don't put in bank details. Don't share sensitive client or personal information onto these platforms. You want to avoid doing these things. Make sure that if you are creating an AI for people to use, it has guardrails. It has things that are, it's not allowed to say these things or not allowed to do these things. These are definitely risks you live in when it comes to using and utilizing AI. I would say at the same time, avoid having things that are within government or sensitive topics or politics, as being biased in these opinions could be a problem and could shape a person's behavior and way of thinking.
I agree totally, of course. And that is the problem sometimes. People are oversharing and they're not realizing how their data is somehow being collected.
Yeah, so to touch on this topic, you know, nobody reads terms and conditions, right?
Yes, of course.
Right.
Just accept and they move on.
So we got the chance to sit with Microsoft almost a year ago, and
Amazing.
they were telling us about why to use Copilot and what the power behind Copilot is for businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that Copilot gives a business that other AIs don't is the data privacy. So data on Copilot, or there's a specific way of initiating Copilot in your business. But when you are speaking to Copilot, you're sharing your data on Copilot, it's private to you. Nobody can access it. Microsoft will not train its next model on your data. Your data is private to you. A lot of AI companies outside of Copilot, no, they will utilize your data. They will use it, they'll train the next models on your data, and that's dangerous. There are loopholes of how to talk to AI. People don't know that you could ask a sidewinded question, and I'd like to not explain how that happens, and you will get the results that you shouldn't be getting.
I see. How can beginners then build a portfolio that gets them clients for internships, let's say?
You want to be smart about doing this, right? I had a very nice young gentleman, age of 16, join us at an event that happened a couple of weeks ago here in Kuwait for AI and cybersecurity and data. And I was very proud to see a 16-year-old coming to talk about a project that he wants to do, right? But he was very in-depth about the tech part of it. He was talking about the tech, what the tech will do, the tech. I appreciated that he had venturous ideas, but he was missing the biggest aspect, the business talk. If you go to a business and you just talk about your tech, the business wants to hear your ROI, return on investment, right? What does the return on investment look like?
Gotcha.
What is the outcome of this? How are we going to make money? Or is it going to, you know, reduce costs in a certain way? How are we going to sell it? So you have to have the business lingo and the tech lingo, right? To be able to have a portfolio that people want to see. At the same time, if we're going to talk simpler, right? You're going to want to have things like the results were this is the outcome. This was the before, this is the after. And why you should be doing this and why this is better than competition.
Well, Abdulilah, once again, this was very informative, and we do appreciate you stopping by for a short time and sharing your insights.
Thank you. Pleasure was mine. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Well, dear viewers, we'll move on now to this report. Stay tuned.